Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Uninformed Fan. It is Monday, and my goodness, it just feels like the birds are chirping a little bit louder. The sun is shining just a little bit brighter out there because it is Winning Monday. The Bears off the schneid. Look at that, Jeffrey. How are we feeling today, buddy?
I'm feeling great, honestly. There was some moments yesterday. I decided to spend the entire day at the house with the family and the kids, all huddled around the television, watching football, uninterrupted for many, many hours. And there was some moments where it was about to go sideways. But you know what? We kept our head down. We kept the axe to the grindstone. We kept it moving. We made money. It's Victory Monday for both of us. I don't know how many times that happens. Throughout the course of the past 3 years we've been doing this show, but it feels good when it does happen. And so congratulations to you. Bucks pull it out again, obviously. I don't know, we'll get into it, but just it feels good to have a Victory Monday. I won in fantasy. I mean, just life is good right now.
It is. It definitely is. Buff, unfortunately, I did not. My team completely shit the bed this week. But it is what it is. Second place, after Jeff talking last week, we're going to stick with it because it is free money. So we'll see what happens. Well, let's get into it. It was an injury-plagued week 3 across the NFL. Lots of people being gone for the season, but let's start with the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this just looked like an absolute clinic out of the Chicago Bears, but we also knew that this was going to happen. We said, let's not get too excited over here. Let's just see what happens. And it went just as well as we thought. We saw some of the trick plays. More importantly, we saw some of the playbook being opened up in regards to some of the other plays. Luther Bird III getting involved. We even saw Colston Loveland off the rip. And unfortunately, he got hurt, did not come back in the game. Jeff, I mean, I know that I'm jiggly because the Bears, but obviously I had low expectations going into this game, just simply for the fact of Dallas's defense. But the Bears came out and they executed. They stopped them when they needed to stop them on defense. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb going down and, being out for the game was a huge blow for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't necessarily think that it would have changed a whole lot. But yeah, I think that the biggest statement play that I had in this whole game was the third quarter. In the third quarter, they came down. I think they took 9.5 minutes off the clock. They ran 11 straight running plays against the Dallas Cowboys, just absolutely ran them over. And man, I mean, what a spark for the Bears. This is exactly what the Bears needed. We needed a little bit of, just a jolt. Look at Caleb there with no fingernail polish. Is it a correlation? I don't know. 3 times says it doesn't matter. All I know is that the ball seemed to be whizzing out there a little bit less without the shiny gloss on there. Jeffrey, did the Chicago Bears prove that they're an offense that can compete?
Yeah, of course. Offensive wise, they have the best offensive mind in all of football. They have weapons everywhere. They have a kid at quarterback who has all the tools. I know like those throws right there over the middle. The one that he had to DJ Moore in the end zone, I thought was great. Where he, listen, Chad says he holds the ball on too long. I do think there's a part of Caleb that is an off-script guy. And sometimes that comes with being able to hold the ball a little bit longer than maybe you should. Maybe a beat right there. He hits Kmet wide open. Great play. My only beef with this game, and I have a legitimate beef with this game, is that it didn't go fucking over. And
correct.
There were some bad beats that I had this week, and we'll get into those. But this one sucked because this is now. So when teams combine for over 40 points in the first half, and the total is 51 points or under, right? Only 9 times in the history of the NFL, after they've combined for 40 points in the first half, has that game gone under. 2 of those 3 have happened in the first 3 weeks of the season. One of them was week 1 with Dallas and with Philly, and now we have week 3 here with Dallas and with Chicago. That was a tough beat for your boy as well, too, as that was one of my favorite plays. And it just stays 31-14 the entire time. We just don't move off of it. It just is what it is. So, yeah, that was tough. But listen, I think if you're a Bears fan, you have to be super excited right now. I think we see the progression of Caleb, right? We see where Caleb can be really, really good. We see where Caleb can be really, really bad. The one thing I do disagree with you about the CD thing, I think CD means so much to that team, especially offense.
I'm not downplaying at all. I just think that the way that the Cowboys defense was and the way that the Chicago Bears were moving the ball, I just think that they could have outscored them was all I was saying. Definitely would have been a closer game for sure.
Yeah. I also think that there's so many things that went well, but can also be worked on, right? Even the flea flicker. The flea flicker was sloppy. Oh, he throws that thing back to him and it feels like it's in the air for eternity.
It's a pop ball in center field.
He finally gets it and Burden's wide. I mean, just streaking on the sideline.
62-yard bomb.
And it was on a rope. And also the other thing that I can take away from this too, and Buff, it is what it is that Diggs is just ass, bro. Like he gets beat short, he gets beat deep. He tries to press Luther Burden, right? And he goes up to hit him with the shot in his chest. And as he turns to do it, he slips. Burden pretty much walks right past him into the end zone for a touchdown. I don't know. The Cowboys are an enigma to me. I can't understand it. Now with CD out, I don't know where this offense goes.
Well, he says he's going to be back next week. And Buff,
he has a high ankle sprain.
Yeah,
right?
Well, he says he's coming back. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
It's a buzz point here. He was saying if CD was in the game, that the total would have went over, and I would have to agree with that.
1,000%.
I did find a few things that I still, and again, I talked to the 3-time a little bit about this in the pre-show, and of course he says that I'm overanalyzing things, but I've been a big critic, I guess if you want to say that, of DJ Moore, right? And his DJ's Moore attitude, and just doesn't seem like he wants to be here. So this is the third quarter, 9 minutes and 15. They were going. This is his first catch of the day, right? And I want you to just look at his body language. Look at the body language here. And then he comes back again, and this is him again on the sideline. Okay. I mean, just look at the body language. And again, now when we get to the touchdown, and this is all on the same drive.
The touchdown's hilarious, by the way.
Luther Burden.
Is it Zacchaeus comes in just over
so
the top?
Right here. So we get the little bit of the celebration. He has got no reaction, and then Zacchaeus comes over, and the guy, and then he has to break character. He starts laughing like, "Dog, what are you doing?" Like that. It took Zacchaeus jumping over him and basically just making a complete fool out of himself.
Hold on, back that up right there.
For him,
this throw.
Hold on a sec. For him to even show a smile. So I don't know what's going on with DJ Moore.
Can we? Let's be honest, Tyson. Let's say you're sober, right? And you're not supposed to be drinking, and you go to a bar and all your boys are ripping shots, having a great time, and you can't participate.
I
Are
don't.
you going
I
to
mean,
feel
give
some
me-
type of way?
No, not when I'm getting paid. I have $100 million contract.
Money doesn't buy happiness, Tyson. We know this.
Bullshit.
I mean, I've never seen anybody cry on a
Drop-
jet ski, but
Drop $100 million in my bank account. Let's test it out. All right.
no, I just think he wants to be part of it. Like he feels like
Okay,
there's a lot
but
of things
even when
getting
even
designed
like
for
what I
people.
just
He's no
showed
longer
you.
the number one. It's clearly Roma Dunze.
Clearly. But
you know,
what I just showed you though is like when he did get the ball and they made it a point that drive to basically put him in his tailback, he's running the ball. Like they made it a point to say, okay, we need to get DJ Moore the ball here. He gets the ball, like, okay, be happy.
Let me put it into a different analogy for you. Let's say you forget that it's you and your wife's anniversary. Okay.
This is not gonna
you
translate to football, Jeffrey.
Now you're reminded that it is your anniversary, but she already knows that you forgot about it. So you do all these things to try to make it up, but it's not gonna fix her feeling that she's forgotten about, right? DJ Moore feels like in the first half he was forgotten about, and everybody's having a great time. We're scoring all these points.
I thought it was
where's
a team
his
game.
love?
I thought
It is a team game, but wide receivers are fucking divas. Okay. And that's just the way that they are. Like
you're a diva. You're a diva when you're not getting the looks and the touches because you need the contract. Once you get the contract, until it's the last year of your contract and you're looking for a new contract, you need to be good with it.
Really?
I didn't hear
Antonio Brown, who made so much money in the NFL.
Antonio Brown. Let's talk about AJ Brown just a quick second. AJ Brown, who was
reading
throwing
books on the sideline,
biggest hissy fit. Once he got his contract, it was fine.
He's reading books on the sideline during the Super Bowl. What do you mean? Yeah. Fine. He's still a head case. This throw right here is ridiculous, by the way. I just wanted to put that out there. We can move on from the Bears. But this specific one is like, how in the hell, back that up again, how in the hell you come out of the boot right there, whatever, this right here, you come out of the boot guy right there and you just snap
that arm
a 9-yard out to a Dunze on a rope. That is ridiculous. It's shit you can't teach. It's why he was the first pick in the draft.
I'll tell you, you brought up something earlier. I know that Chad was talking about this thing, and Chad, yeah, I understand. That's all that we wanted to see. At least I wanted to see as a Bear fan. I will say this: I don't know if it was Tom Brady. I think it was Tom Brady that was talking about it. But he was talking about, to Jeff's point, about how meticulous Ben Johnson is and how Ben Johnson wants to see the play go and how Ben Johnson thinks that the play goes. And Caleb is more of an ad-libber type of guy where he's going to come in and he's going to kind of make some adjustments and he's going to kind of see things a little bit differently. And that's where a lot of people have had the concerns that says that, maybe these two aren't going to gel, but we here to go. I tell you, stock up. I mean, let's look at this, fans. The Bears fans have the same records as the Kansas City Chiefs. That's all you can ask for. And I think that, going into the next week, who do we have next week? 3 times? I can't read your lips. I don't. 12? 12? We're playing 12? We are playing the Raiders. LA, that's what he was trying to do. Hey, bro, I'm not up on my gang sign. Okay?
First of all, that's an LV. That's not an LA. Okay.
I'm not up on my gang signs.
Yeah, an LA would be. Anyway, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, let's not. So things are looking up. And I'll tell you what, the Bears have the Raiders, Commanders, Saints, and Ravens. Commanders, only one that's really looking a little crazy there. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, Buff, I'm sorry. You might as well just chalk up this year, bro. I don't know what to tell you. You got Jerry Jones out here afterwards saying that this is a playoff team.
The Bears are, or the Cowboys?
No, the Cowboys. He said the Cowboys are a playoff team because of number 4.
Number 4 is really good, but the problem is that CD's out, and number 3, like the epitome of George Pickens, right, is quitting on a play and then catching catching a one-handed touchdown in the end zone, and then you come right back and the pick happens right off your hands. Like that's just who that kid is, unfortunately, so far in his career.
Well,
it is.
Buff, I will tell you this, buddy. I hope CD is back next. It's going to be tough. I know he says that he wants to play. Jeff says a high ankle sprain. You know, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I will be rooting for you with the utmost energy next week, Buffington, and I cannot wait for it. I'm so sick of the Micah Parsons bullshit talk. Again, we'll get into it. It was an absolute crazy day for Kicks. Absolute crazy day for Kicks. So many field goals blocked, so many for the game winners. And let's start off with none other than Jeffrey's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 27-29. Jets pull it out. Wow. Let's start off with the big thing. Mike Evans hurts the hamstring again. 3 times you're saying it was the same hamstring. Is it the same hamstring, Jeff?
Yeah. The one thing, and this kind of sucks. As soon as he literally hurt the hamstring, walked straight to the locker room.
Yeah,
he didn't even stop by the sideline. It was just like, okay,
no medical tent necessary.
I know how this goes. It is what it is. I know exactly what this is. He's gonna go on IR. I'm sure he's gonna miss time. The thing that makes me sad is that it's probably gonna hinder him from getting a 1,000-yard receiving season. So
let's be honest. I mean, we could kind of
really
see the season was already going. I think that was going to be a tough stretch this year anyway.
I don't know. I mean, I think that look at his first 3 games.
I'm bringing it up right now.
Obviously you have the Falcons game. He was okay. Now you switch over to week 2. You had in my opinion, maybe the best corner in the league, probably second best to Surtain, but Derek Stingley Jr. is an absolute monster. I thought that he would do well against Sauce. He did pretty well against Sauce because he can just kind of sun Sauce. Sauce isn't big enough where Stingley is. And he ended up having a touchdown.
51, 56, 33. I'm not talking about necessarily Mike Evans and his production and his ability to get open. I'm just saying I think that the Tampa Buccaneers have more legitimate weapons than they've ever had, especially the emergence of Ibuka. I mean, my goodness.
I don't think ever. Not ever.
Well, I'm just saying Mike. I'm not talking about the history of the. Okay,
they had Gronk, AB, and Chris Godwin at wide receiver.
Okay,
it's a pretty good supplementary 3-piece to your.
Well, I'm also saying that you got Mike, you got Ibuka, you got Godwin, you got McClellan, whatever his name,
McMillan. But
McMillan, who also looked really good. Shepard is looking really good as well. I mean, I just think you got a lot. I just think that there's a lot to spread the ball around. So yeah, to your point, I guess, but back when, you had those guys outside of AB, I think that Mike Evans was like your sole deep threat. AB was your slot crossing guy. And I think Ibuka is starting to take a little bit of those deep threat passes is all I'm saying. It's no disrespect to Mike or anything of that nature. I just think that it's very, very tough, especially with the way that the ball is being spread around this year. Ibuka and Baker absolutely in sync. Let's get into it. The Bucks go into the end of the game here looking like they're going to just put a little, let's see here. Which one am I at? Why can't I get
this game kind of went exactly as we said. I said all week I hate this line. I think 7 is crazy, and sure as shit, it's a 1:00 game. It's in Tampa. You've had kicking problems. We get out to a big league, and what happens? You kind of sit back and you wrestle. I didn't realize that they were still able. So you're able to jump over the center as long as you don't touch the center. Is that correct?
As long as you don't leverage the center. I do believe there is something in there as far as touching, but it's more so leverage. But yeah, he just jumped straight over the top of him.
Yeah, I thought you couldn't touch him. Anyway, I actually his first win here as a head.
That off the screen.
This was an interesting day for your boy because I don't want to get into the game before it happened, but the way that the sequence of events transpired through this, it kind of is relevant. Normally I'm out somewhere, I'm watching it. Usually it's kiddies, whatever. We're having some drinks, we're chilling out. I've been very much more like I've been drinking NAs and I've been going out lately a little bit, and just kind of trying to scale back a little bit. So I stayed home yesterday. So normally the problem is when I stay home, and something will happen and my attitude will not be great when I have to react to that situation. Whereas opposed to when I'm out in public, there's people watching me and I feel more like I have to be restrained, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that restraint.
I don't know if you've seen me actually pissed off. But but that's another whole thing as well too.
Indeed.
So this happened, and I'm watching the entire game, but I didn't actually see it. And the reason I didn't see it happen in real time, which is probably good, is an event happened right before that that I had tied to everything that I had done for the entire day for the early slate. And it made me get up and walk away, which was the Rams and Eagles game. And so that happened, and I had Rams literally tied to every single parlay that I had. Like I'll do like a 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll max it out, right? And so having Rams plus 3.5 and having them up 26-7 and thinking that this was something and putting it out as one of our picks, which sometimes I take more seriously than I even care about making money. Like whatever I have on record means more to me than making $100 or $200 here or there. It straight up does. And if
here I am throwing out Giants money lines.
If anybody else who does this, like you're the exact same way, right? You care more about being right and having it documented than you do about the actual money itself. And so that happened, and I watched that happen, and I try not to physically, mentally melt down. I walk outside, and as I walk outside, boom, this happens, and I'm watching it happen on Red Zone as I'm standing outside. So I come back in.
So my text was just not. I didn't realize that you had everything tied to that. So I put out the text. What a way for the Eagles to cover. I'm surprised that the bullets didn't come back twice as fast. But apparently you were in complete meltdown mode. So
it's one of those things where it's like you see the text, and I knew that you knew that I had taken Rams, right? And obviously I didn't cover on the bet, but I also didn't know if you were like, it's tough to decipher somebody's tone on a text. Obviously,
I definitely wasn't trolling. And honestly,
I don't know if
you put too much emphasis on that, because honestly, once I'm melted in the couch, Jeffrey, I forget about everything.
I know, dude. So that was another thing too. Like I drank 2 nowadays yesterday, and I've never been happier to not leave my house.
You're starting to understand, are you not?
It's crazy.
5 milligrams, couch, 4 TVs, red zone,
and
beers, bathroom.
I'm we grill out. We do the picanha thing. My wife's Brazilian. We do the picanha thing. We have sausage. We have everything. We're grilling, right? We're chilling. We go through that round. I drink 2 nowadays. Now at this point, it's like 9 o'clock at night. My wife's like, "Hey, the oldest one needs something to eat because he's got to take his medicine." No problem, right? I decide I'm gonna be Chef Boyardee Jeff, right? So I hop in there. And I start making these chicken sandwiches, and I'm putting spicy pickles, chipotle mayo, lettuce, tomato. Like I'm going crazy in the kitchen, right? I'm putting it on. I don't know
if that mixes well with medicine, the spicy stuff, but okay, go ahead.
He didn't have that. He just had a regular.
Oh, okay.
His palate's not there yet. So whatever. I eat this, right? And now, like I eat this, I'm like, all right, I'm chilling, but I'm still on the nowadays. Tell me why right after I ate that, I decided that 2 humongous peanut butter and jellies was going to be the move to have it around 10:45 at night as well. Your boy was down bad this morning when I woke up. I'm not going to lie. My stomach's not used to that. I eat like once or twice a day and I'm done. But this whole like not drinking as much, your body craves sugar because it's not getting the sugar that it's used to. And so it's like the whole situation behind it. I'm just like, fuck.
I'll tell you, Jeff, I've been down this rabbit hole. I've been on this routine for years now. And there's just something about it that not only tricks your brain into thinking you're hungry, but it also enhances the flavors of all the foods.
Bro, that was the best thing I've ever had in my life.
I mean, I had some like healthy Cheetos, right? Because my wife now is like, okay, if you're going to be glutton, like I'm going to get, so like I'm eating probably the worst tasting Cheetos that there is, but they taste so good. But yes, so back to some football talk here. So Jeffrey, you saw the block. They come back.
Yeah, you come back. Baker's Baker, bro.
Again.
Baker's Baker.
We got to go 3 for 3 here again to go 3-0.
Yeah.
Was there any doubt, Jeff?
None.
I think it was minute
and
50 left or something like that, right?
None. The 2 timeouts, a minute 50 seconds. There's no doubt in my mind. Jets have no timeouts. No doubt in my mind that we are going down there and we're, taking a field goal. And it was like my wife and my sister-in-law are yelling at the TV. They're like, "There's a minute left. Why?" I'm like, "They're gonna kick a field goal." They're like, what do you mean? They just missed the field goal. They got a block." They go, "It doesn't matter. They're gonna get to the 25. They're gonna kick a field goal. It's fine. It's over.
Welcome in, TJ. Welcome in, Justice. I don't know if you saw that after his report or his interview or whatever. And
Baker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, well, that guy over there, he's the one that cut me. So, there was a lot of personal
Yeah.
things involved in this game.
Todd Bowles used to coach the New York Jets. He goes, Hassan Reddick was a Jet before, too. There's a lot of personal shit about this game. It's so funny, right? Because Baker is like the perfect fit for Tampa and for the city and for the attitude and for the fuck it and for everything. It's like you couldn't have picked a better personality to represent that city. We're very lucky. We're very blessed. I just hope he stays healthy. Everybody gets hurt on our team somehow this year, so I just hope he stays healthy. But it is funny because we have
He's
so much.
Definitely had quite a streak.
You just keep on coming in and out. And now, listen, I know that Philly might have found something. We're about to get into this, right?
Yep.
But it is fuck Philly hate week, right? I chill with Bird fans all day, every day. I've been there to support you guys. We hold over you guys like nobody else does in the NFL, and you know it. And so I can't wait for this week to see them and be able to just put them in their place. Because all we've had to hear, right, is how good they are and how yada, 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 and all this bullshit, right? They should have lost that game. They were getting blown out by the Rams. I don't know what happened. The hand of God came down and touched them to where the fattest, biggest guy on the field gets the block on the field goal and then decides he's going to scamper untouched 60 yards into the fucking end zone. Fall on it, fat boy. That's all you had to do.
No way, bro. Ain't no way you take away a touchdown.
Instead, big boy just decides to sprint like he's Usain Bolt running down the middle of the field. 40. I mean, he had to be of Jamaican heritage. I will say that. Jordan Davis just absolutely took off. And look, I know this is going to be a tough game, but I'm getting a couple of
football
boys
with
back.
An end zone. It's like having a carrot in front of a donkey, bro. Ain't no way.
I think TJ, when I tell you your boy was down bad, I was beside myself. It was my favorite play of the day. I tied it to everything. I had money line involved. I had everything going. That was it. And the play was so good the entire day. And then to have it just snatched out of your heart like that in front of your wife and kids was a tough one. It was a tough one, man.
It was crazy because
I sent out for them to see that, you know? I'm like, welcome to gambling, motherfuckers. This is how it goes, okay?
Yeah. It was tough because the Los Angeles Rams were just absolutely shutting them down. They were making them throw the ball to beat them, and the Eagles were just like, no, we're not going to throw the ball. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what changed with the Rams defense. Well, obviously the Eagles started throwing the ball. A.J. Brown gets involved, ends up with 6 for 109 and a touchdown, kind of blew away his last 10 games combined. There's still the Smith. And they just started winging the ball. They started playing loose, and the Rams just did not adjust. And that's very, very unusual for Sean McVay to be able to not adjust to that and to be able to shut it down. And to the point, they had a field goal in the game. It's not a guarantee. That's for damn sure. I will tell you this, though. The Rams are going to be a problem in the NFC, and should have or came very, very close to beating the Eagles in the NFC last in the playoffs. Should have beat them this game. I think that the Rams are a very complete team. I don't know, a couple coaching tweaks here and there show defense a little bit, but there's no reason the Rams should not have won the game, let alone not covered. Absolute bad beat. To your point, there's no way you're going to stop a big boy who gets a chance to score a touchdown. He ain't falling on the ball. He's going for it. And unfortunately for all the Rams peoples, the big boy found the jelly.
It's also tough, too, when that big boy just came off of a diet this past summer and lost 30 pounds.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Show out, bro. They want
to that's everybody saying, like, if he wouldn't have lost those 20 pounds, they probably caught.
And just like, yeah, cool, good for you and your Ozempic, dude. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, get away from me. I thought the way that this played out, I just think it's going to be a great week. I think Bucs Eagles is going to be a great game. I think we're going to try to take advantage of their DBs just like the Rams did. But shout out to A.J. Brown for deciding to come back and save my fantasy football hopes for the year. Appreciate
the
it.
Diva comes back to get it. One of the better games of the week, the Browns and Packers. everybody I knew was all over the Browns here, and rightfully so. The talk of Parsons just being the Green Bay, we've been saying it for weeks. Too much Riz, too much jizz on the Green Bay Packers. Yes, it's a very talented team. I don't know if you've heard this, Jeff. One of the youngest teams in the league. I don't know if you heard that at all. But this Browns defense is good. And you got Myles Garrett on the side, which, he played this game a little bit of chip, and I would too if I'm Myles Garrett. I'm still the best defender. I don't know who you're talking about, Parsons.
Without a doubt.
I'm still the guy. And I'm still the guy, and I'm going to show you that I'm the guy. And he came out and did it. And, of course, here we go again. Kickers matter, Jeffrey. Kickers matter. We got another field goal here to come. Oh, no, we do not. And unlike the other one, the skinny guy jumps on the football here.
Yeah.
There was no scoop and score from the hands team. It was absolutely covered. Oh, man. I'll tell you,
this had to feel good for you.
There's far better Mondays than the Bears win and a Packers loss. Only thing made it better was the Gators win, but those are complete long shots. So I mean, we can't expect the trifecta. But yes, the Bay Packers are Jordan Love out there. A few ghosts here. That late interception he threw. I was good trying to bring that up. I didn't realize it was on talk. But I can't bring that up over here. The one that he threw toward the end, just threw it straight at the DB. I mean, that wasn't even close. To your point, Jeff, why did the Browns keep rolling out Joe Flacco?
Don't get it.
He's not mobile. Now, the Green Bay Packers front line is formidable. And yes, they do have Micah Parsons. To me, this would have been a great game for Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders to be able to flush out of that pocket. Now, it's the NFL, and I understand that, but if we're going to do the same thing like Jackson Dart, which we're definitely going to get into, you could have had plays, right? There's got to be plays already designed for Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. Let him go out there and take a series and just change up the defense a little bit. I think they're missing an opportunity here.
No, I agree, and it's one of those things too. Like, what's a young quarterback's best friend? A great defense, right? Because they're able to keep them in situations and mitigate things that happen. Buff, I completely agree with you. Buff started 2 in a league over Jordan Love. In the big league, I started Marcus Mariota instead of Jordan Love, and dropped Trevor Lawrence because his next 3 weeks look absolutely abominable. Listen. This is a love of mine. Another one. This is one of the 2 picks that I put out. One of them was the Rams plus 3.5. This one was obviously plus 8 on the Browns. Felt like easy money, even when they were down 10-0 the entire game. It was just they couldn't do anything on offense. The Packers couldn't. You always felt like you were going to be in it. There was going to be a backdoor cover somewhere. There was a lot of penalties that happened toward the end of the game that actually put them into the range to be able to get at this. And I just think Green Bay's got to clean those up as well. But listen, better days are ahead. They're playing one of my favorite defense in the NFL right now in terms of the Cleveland Browns. So it kind of is what it is. This is just unfortunate situation. Somebody was saying to me at the bar, they're like, oh, why do you think that the Browns are going to be able to stop this potent Jordan Love offense? And I go, did you see what the Browns did to Joe Burrow and the potent Cincinnati Bengals offense week 1? And you think that we've gone so far that we think that Jordan Love, without Jaden Reed and without Christian Watson and with a banged up Kraft and all this shit, like we think that is where it's going to be. I mean, come on, bro. Like let's be. And TJ, you're exactly right. Judkins looks like he's absolutely the guy. I think he's going to get a bunch of work the rest of the year. I think he's absolutely RB2 status in fantasy football, depending on who they have at quarterback. I think he's got a chance to be a borderline RB1 and a top 12 RB in the league, and that's a great pickup.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if anybody scooped him up. If you did, it's because somebody ignoramulously dropped him week 1. But yeah, I don't think there's too many of those up there. We'll see what happens.
Indiana dropped him week 1.
I said the only reason you're scooping him up on a waiver wire is if somebody dropped him, because he was most certainly drafted. And if he wasn't drafted in the league, then you're probably in an 8 to 10 man league.
Judkins was definitely drafted in pretty much every league. I'm just saying, if you drafted him, good for you, because it's going to turn to pan out.
Oh, you mentioned scooping him up. That's all I was saying. If he's out there, I mean, that's because somebody ignoramulously dropped him, is what I was trying to say.
I mean, listen, I'm going to give props to TJ. We could talk about TJ's bad plays that he had as well, too, that he talked about getting Tracy early in drafts over Cam Scatterboo, but we're not going to get into that. We'll wait till the very end when we talk about that game.
Yeah,
But credit where credit is due.
What team that is? Yeah, Colts, Indiana Jones, and the Temple of Doom heading into Tennessee. I scooped him up on the waiver wire with Joe Burrow going down. He had a serviceable game. It wasn't anything. It was obviously his lowest game of the year with only 22 points. I just, as much as I hate giving you credit, man, yeah. We'll get into your fantasy team. Jeff, you were absolutely right about the Indianapolis Colts and that roster.
Yeah, man, they're good.
I mean, JT is looking like he's, back, break out of 40-yard runs, which obviously, I'll tell you, fantasy just does weird things to you, man. Because, yeah, I'm screaming at the TV, somebody tackle him. Jones running. It's just a crazy concept, especially when you have on your own team.
Yeah.
And when DJ Moore catches one, you're like, come on, give me my guys. But it's absolutely crazy. They're absolutely for real, man. Daniel Jones looks great. They actually punted for the first time. I knew it was coming. I picked him up. The streak can't go on forever. 41-20. Should the Colts be an AFC favorite playoff team, Jeffrey?
No, absolutely not. But they're I'm sorry. Let me. I
was going to say it's kind of weird considering you're saying that they have the best roster on both sides of the football.
Before I heard the end of it, do I think they'll win the division? Is that your question?
I'm saying, do you think that they can compete for the AFC Championship?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Just because we at a certain point, this will turn into a pumpkin. Right, Cinderella only had the glass slipper for so long.
Will it? Let me ask you this question, Jeff. You said it's the best constructed roster on both sides of the football. Arguably one of the best head coaches and coaching staffs in football. Any teams is producing at a rate that is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, top 10 quarterback in the league. What's stopping them?
So I think that their secondary is something that's going to end up being a mitigating circumstance when it comes down to that. I don't know how much they've really been tested in terms of in that secondary. There was a comment that was made by Michael Pittman Jr., who said they were out there in pregame warmups and they had absolutely zero juice on the other side. And when they looked at it, they were kind of like, okay, I think that we're going to come out and we're just going to absolutely crush this team. And they absolutely did. They're playing the Tennessee Titans. And I think the Titans, they have problems that they'll be fantasy relevant in certain spots, but
it's a team on trying to figure itself out.
They don't have a great head coach. It just kind of is what it is. I do think Indy has one of the best front sevens in NFL. I think they have an incredible offensive line. I think they have great skill guys on the outside. They have one of the best running backs in the NFL. Could be RB1 this year in Jonathan Taylor. And they just needed somebody to be able to kind of right the ship. Now, Daniel Jones is playing at an MVP level. I don't know if they need Daniel Jones to be an MVP this year. Right. I think just being comeback player of the year, or whatever you want to call it, will be absolutely fine for Daniel Jones. I just want him to not turn the ball over, keep sticking to the script. Right now, he looks like Josh Allen. As long as he looks, somewhere in between Josh Allen and Phillip Rivers, they'll be okay. But just kind of stick to the script, keep things in front of you. Like I said, that secondary and those DBs is what the one part of their roster that I don't like. That I think could be better, but they can always get better throughout the year too. So,
I just don't think we can both agree the biggest test. Level. Well, let's say the biggest test is going to be this coming week, where they travel to the West Coast and play the Rams.
That's a great spot for them, honestly, because the Rams are coming off that heartbreaking loss that they just put their entire effort and existence into on a team that has historically beat them and held over them. And you're up 26-7, and you give up 26 points in a row to lose the game. So there's going to be a certain emotional factor where will there be some fatigue there? I think there could be from the Rams.
And so we're saying that the Colts are not going to get the Rams' best effort?
In my opinion, no.
I'll be looking forward Jeffrey's play on the Colts next week.
Honestly, their schedule is pretty fucking easy.
Yes, it is.
And they
play in the AFC South. I mean,
like they play the Rams, right? And then they go Raiders, Cardinals, Chargers, right? And then Titans, Steelers, Falcons, Chiefs. Okay. Texans, Jaguars, Seahawks are good, 49ers are good, and then finish with Jaguars, Texans. That is a wildly easy schedule.
Well, that's what happens when you're a shit team. You get a shit schedule because you should be improving. Speaking of shit teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers go into the New England Patriots 21-14. Pretty lackluster game. A lot of fumbles that's going around, as Jeff is going to point out. Biggest thing here, Rodgers throws his 509th career touchdown to pass Brett Favre. I think that was probably something on Aaron Rodgers' list to not be behind Brett Favre. And so now he can ride peacefully into the distance after the season.
Yeah, I think this is also one of the only stadiums that Aaron Rodgers did not have a win at.
Really?
As a starting quarterback in his career, so he finally got one.
We probably didn't play in there a whole lot, right? I mean, it could have been, 3 or 4 times?
Right. Well, I mean, you figure how many times were the Packers playing the Patriots in Foxborough during his career, and then obviously he goes to the Jets, but gets hurt, only has 1 year playing them in New England. They lose that game. So this was his kind of chance for a get back, and I guess he hangs it on the mantle as well, too.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make about this. I do find it encouraging as somebody who has Ramondre Stevenson in multiple leagues that Vrabel said after the game that Ramondre is an integral and key part of this team, and that if they're going to be anything that they need Ramondre, I think that's a great sign if you have him, because it means that Travion's not taking over just yet. They got to clear up the fumbles, man. The fumbles were terrible. Gibson had one. He had one. I think Travion had one that they ended up getting back that wasn't lost. You got to accentuate Drake May's legs a little bit more. In my opinion, they're such a weapon that you got to let him get on the outside like you do with Daniel Jones, like you do with Josh Allen, and let him create plays. So I think there's a lot of work to be done on this Patriots team. Do I think they can get better? Absolutely. They're missing one of the best defenders in all of football, and Christian Gonzalez. And once they get him back, that's half the field that's going to be taken up. But he's been out 3 weeks already. I can't believe that they lost this game. I think we needed like 10 more yards from Jonnu Smith to hit for $3,000. It's very unfortunate.
As somebody who started on fantasy, I can agree with you. I would love to get 10 more yards out of him.
Very unfortunate.
That just shows you the shambles of my team in the tight end position. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
It is what it is.
The next game of the Raiders and the Commanders, and this was my pick. And let me just forewarn something, or just say something out there. I put on our pick thing that, tail or fade with complete degeneracy. And if you've seen anything from my picks from the first 3 weeks, they're absolutely degenerate picks. I picked the Raiders here to beat the Commanders. And let me just tell you, I guess I just have not watched a Las Vegas Raiders game in completion. I did watch this one completely, and the Raiders could have the worst offensive line that I've ever seen. And that's coming from a Bears fan that has watched a terrible offensive line for the past 5 years. I mean, Geno Smith had zero time all over the field. It was absolutely terrible. Alshon Jeffrey cannot get anything going because there's no holes. It's just absolute complete shambles. It further goes to my validation of the pick of Jacoby Myers, and basically they're just going to be throwing the ball. Unfortunately, all of the garbage time stats went to Trey Tucker, unfortunately, who just vaunts up with 145 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Geno Smith shit, bro.
That is some Geno Smith shit, but that's what I expected when I drafted Jacoby Myers. That's 100% what I expected, and that's what you expected when you drafted Brock Bowers, is that, we're going to get these garbage times. We're going to get this behind the shit where, defenses just let people go down and score. But I will tell you this, the Las Vegas Raiders are not a good football team. And it starts in the trenches, and they're getting just absolutely mollywopped on both sides. It'll be something I'll dial into, and I will tell you this. Moving forward, you have my commitment that Tyson will put out picks with thought and value moving forward. When you were talking about your other thing, like, honestly, like, I just, whatever, it was just to see the first 3 weeks. I'm just, I told everybody, I don't like to bet really the first 3 to 4 weeks anyway, because I'm an eyeball guy, right? I've said this before. Jeff's a statistical guy. He likes to, the X's and O's. I'm an eyeball guy. I like to see what I'm betting on, and let me tell you, the Las Vegas Raiders suck. Terry McLaurin injured in this win, though. Another blow for the Commanders. Don't know how serious it was. Marcus Mariota looked very good. He fell into the role just like you said. Took over and did a lot of stuff that Jaden Daniels did. Used his legs. Very serviceable backup quarterback for the Washington Commanders.
sometimes you make calls on things and people look at you like you're crazy, which was starting Marcus Mariota in our big fantasy league instead of Jordan Love. And, I benched
I
Brees
don't.
Hall
Who
and
gave you
Garrett
shit for
Wilson
that?
week 1. A couple people at the local watering hole.
Name names.
A couple people at the local watering hole. That's all I'm saying.
Do they watch the show? If not, they need
sometimes.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was cool. I mean, Mariota finishes 15 to 21. He hits the long one as well too, which is cool. Hits the 40-yarder that he hit to Luke McCaffrey to kind of end the game, which was dope because we have a big play bonus in our league as well too. I don't know what to make of this. Who does Washington have next week?
It is what it is.
They play the Falcons at 1:00.
Well,
they got a little stretch coming up.
Perfect transition coming in because the Falcons coming off a beatdown by the Panthers. This is one that we circled last week, and I even said it. This is where you take the Panthers. I didn't put it out there because the Panthers, I said also, if you remember, that the Panthers have just completely burned me over and over again, so I refused to fall into the same trap again. Well, the trap was set, and the trap went right around it, 30-0. I think it's time to panic if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan. And I hate to say this as well, but you can't tell me Kirk Cousins could have a worse offense than what the Atlanta Falcons have right now with Michael Penix Jr. It is absolutely dismal.
Yeah.
Drake London, non-existent, non-factor. Kyle Pitts, whatever. He's actually on the uptick. It's Bijan or bust. It is literally Bijan or bust. Darnell Mooney, where are you at, brah? I think that if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, I mean, there's really no way that you can actually, can you even bench Penix at this point? Can you? I mean, sure you can. We've seen it happen in Indianapolis where you benched Anthony Richardson, right? And you still came out and said, we're not going to get rid of him. He is the future, but he needs more time. I don't know. You put up a goose egg against arguably one of the worst teams in the NFL, you got problems.
Yeah, I think they might have coaching problems, but I guess that's neither here nor there. This game is crazy. If you look at the box score of this game, by the way, too, like Atlanta total yards 332, Carolina total yards 224. Atlanta had 17 first downs, Carolina had 15. Atlanta only had 3 penalties on the day, Carolina had 6. And then you see the score of 30-0, and you're like, what happened? And what happened was there was 3 turnovers by the Falcons. Penix threw bad balls in terrible situations. They were taken advantage of. One's returned for a touchdown, right? It's just kind of blah. I guess these games happen in the NFL. I don't really understand it, and I don't know where they go, but
they do. But my biggest concern isn't on the offensive side of the ball. This Falcons defense was the number 1 defense in fantasy football going into this week. This defense looked absolutely great. Now, maybe it was the people that they played against. I'm unaware. I'm actually bringing up their schedule right here just to double check.
Their first,
but they played the Vikings and the Bucks. The Bucks and the Vikings, which they held the Vikings to 6 points. And I guess you could say held the Bucks to 23. I don't really know if that's even a hold, but there was good plays around the board, and you saw a flying defense that was making plays. But you lose 30-0 to Carolina. I mean, it's time to reevaluate everything because, to your point, a good defense helps out a rookie quarterback. Well, this defense didn't do that at all. I don't know. Here's just my take on it. Let's see, who do they have coming up? They have the Commanders coming up this week, which we just said. I mean, I don't know, dude. Do you go back to Cousins? What does that even look like? Is it Michael Penix's team to go down with the ship no matter what?
Absolutely. You've committed to this. You're in on this. You've drafted him to be this guy. He can be this guy. He hasn't shown it yet.
So could Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson cannot. Not right now.
I'm seeing the exact same throws out of Michael Penix Jr. that I'm seeing out of Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
You're not?
No, I disagree. But
who has the better talent wise?
Are you talking about as an athlete or as
just
a quarterback?
Athlete. Obviously not statistical.
What the fuck? Anthony Richardson is a freak of nature.
He
It's
is
like,
absolutely. I
who's
don't
a
know.
better quarterback, Cam Newton or Tom Brady? Like, okay, like Cam Newton is more athletic and a freak of nature, and Tom Brady is Tom Brady. But like, what are we talking about here?
We're talking about the fact that the Atlanta Falcons, with arguably a very staunch offense on paper, just got blanked by the Carolina Panthers. That's what we're talking about.
Shitty game.
Shitty game. Bengals headed into Minnesota. If you were lucky enough to start the Minnesota defense in your fantasy, like me, shout out to me. Yep, toot the old horn. Absolutely devour Jake Browning and the Cincinnati Bengals. Whew. I know Cincinnati wants to continue to keep Jake Browning. They feel that he's very serviceable, but that's not good, man. And there's nobody out there. There's nobody out there for anybody that's listening to say, okay, we just talked about Kirk Cousins. Absolutely not, because the Cincinnati Bengals defense cannot hold up. I'm sorry, offensive line cannot protect a statue like Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Woo. I don't know. I feel sorry for Jamar Chase drafters, T. Higgins drafters. R.I.P. Joe Burrow. R.I.P. Cincinnati. You might as well just chalk it up and try to keep everybody healthy for the rest of the year, in my opinion. Jeffrey, what are your thoughts on the Cincinnati Bengals getting absolutely destroyed 48-10 by the Minnesota Vikings? And Carson Wentz.
They should go get Jameis.
I think that would be great. I almost picked him up and just sat him on my bench just for the case. But the New York Giants said that he's not for trade.
Okay.
Everyone has the price, though, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to give up for Jameis? I mean, I'd go.
Who cares? You can't draft anyway. I mean, they've been terrible at the draft. I mean, like, yeah. Who cares what you give up? It's a pick. It doesn't matter. Like, just give it up. At least he's a little bit mobile. You know, you can't go for Cousins because Cousins is a statue, and your O-line is shit. And so, you know, as fun as that would be, I don't see that being an option. And so, yeah, I would go try to get Jameis.
Well, let's see who do they have next week. I think that they're going to give this one more week. And if you see some of the same stuff out of the next week, I think that you're going to see, they're going against the Broncos next week.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Jake Browning
coming off of, like, I got to get right game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
Well, let's get into it. Broncos 20, Chargers 23. Again, we talked about the San Diego Chargers, and I've talked about them numerous times about being one of the most complete teams. You know, Jim Harbaugh's got that team on both sides of the football looking good, holding the Broncos to 20. Late field goal wins it. Najee Harris out for the year. Looks like another torn Achilles. I don't know what is happening with Achilles. I don't know. Maybe is this a side effect of the COVID shot? I don't know. Maybe the COVID vaccine is targeting Achilles. I have no idea what's going on here. But I will say this. The Chargers are now 3-0, which is obviously a good thing beside itself. But the Chargers have played all three divisional games to start the year. They have an absolute stranglehold on that division at 3-0. They are going to be playing for some serious time in the playoffs. Jeff, what are your thoughts on this one?
This sucked. Two. I had Broncos plus 2.5. I don't know. It's a game where, like, you think everything's going well. You think that, like, you know, Herbert's getting sacked. All of a sudden he throws, he escapes, makes an incredible
he is him.
play,
I sent that out there.
Throws the ball to the end zone. Keenan Allen makes a one-handed catch with the guy draped over him. It's tough. It's tough. Do I think that they're the team to beat in the AFC? Probably.
At least in that division, for sure.
I think they're more complete, in my opinion, than Buffalo. But I think because I think their defense is better and they have an absolute alpha in Derwin James back there. So there's that. But
R.I.P. Lad McConkey in fantasy football.
Why?
Well, with Quentin Johnson and Keenan Allen getting all these touches, I mean, his volume has dropped significantly from last year.
Yeah, but the reason he's getting touches is because they're actually catching the ball. Eventually, defense will have to respect both, and it'll open back up for Lad anyway. So one hand will feed the other. Not a big deal. Bad week. We'll move on. You know, it'll be fine.
Speaking of weeks that you just want to forget about, the New Orleans Saints went into Seattle, and there's not much to talk about this game other than the absolute drumming and beatdown. It was 21-0 before the Saints even opened their eyes, and that was it. And there's really nothing else to talk about.
Shout out to Ian for dropping the Seahawks defense in our league this week and allowing me to pick them up and start them. I appreciate you, bro.
You know, for as much as statistical knowledge as he has about the Washington Redskins and Commanders, and his arguments and his statistical backups for why Devin Hester's not the greatest, he really has some boneheaded football moves.
I go, why'd you drop the Seahawks defense? He's like,
But he also just had a child, so congratulations on that, Ian. Maybe he was just a little distracted.
I know. We're trying to play video games last night, and all I can hear is the cooing in the background. I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, she's fine. I'm like, I'm going to get off the game. I'm going to get off the game. Sorry. That sounded terrible the way that it came out.
No, just your ears is the only one that interpreted that. That was it.
Nope. I see Jeremy dying laughing right now, trying not to piss himself. So,
well, he's also a pervert.
Whoa. You can't call Jeremy a pervert.
Why not?
That's not nice.
I never claimed to be nice.
Anyway,
let's move it on. Anyway, yeah. Let's jump back into Jacksonville, where the Jags took on the Texans 10-17. I gotta ask this, Jeff. I mean, we know that the Texans defense is good.
Yeah.
But on the offensive side, have we seen a bigger fall from grace than CJ Stroud in the Houston Texans?
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, he's been terrible this year as the wide receiver one in an offense that's supposed to be good with Liam Cohen. CJ Stroud just struggles from the fact that this best offensive lineman in Laramie Tunsil, they traded him to the Commanders. They don't have a lot there. He lost Stephon Diggs and he lost Tank Dell going into this year. You only have Nico Collins. You have a rookie in Higgins. Christian Kirk's been hurt. He got into it with some Jags players during the game. And the Jags defense is not bad either. CJ Stroud has struggled from playing pretty good defenses to start the year. Let's look at their schedule real quick.
While you're looking that up, I just want to apologize to the three-time Jeremy. That was out of line and it was an out-of-pocket comment. And I sincerely apologize.
Wild. Where?
In no way.
They play.
In no way.
Houston this week.
Do I think that you have a perverted mind? I think that you're one of the most upstanding gentlemen that I've ever come across with. You have 3 Emmys for daytime production.
Yeah, so they played the Rams, the Bucks, and the Jags to start the year. It doesn't get a lot easier because they do have the Titans, who are terrible. Then they have Ravens, Seahawks, Niners, Broncos, Jags again. That's going to be a stretch right there. This Houston team, they're going to be in the top 5 picking this year, for sure.
They are in shambles.
They won't win 5 games this year.
Did you take the under to start the year?
No. But we mentioned that we didn't like them, right? Like we said that this is not a team that we thought was going to be very good this year.
I'll tell you, if anybody on ours, obviously a lot of our league listens to this podcast, and thank you so much for the support. But I would
completely and utterly disagree with you, TJ. But that's okay. I think the Rams, Bucks, and Jags all have incredible defensive lines that make things hard when you have no offensive line in your CJ Stroud. The Rams have one of the best defensive lines when it comes to Verse and Fisk in all of football. Bucks, with Vita Vea, with Reddick, with everybody, the amount of times they got to CJ, and the Jags, with all those picks that they've collected on there, have been pretty decent when it comes to getting to the quarterback.
I would have to say that Jeffrey had a nerve struck there. Don't you come after his Bucks defense?
You can come after whatever you want to, but
can I?
Okay.
Are you saying that I can?
Please stop. Why are we on this?
Jeffrey, coming for you live. Well, again, if you're in our fantasy, I do have 3 defenses here that would love to. I can trade somebody if somebody. I do have the Texans, the Vikings, and of course the Patriots. So if
Jake Browning threw 3 interceptions against the Jaguars.
He also threw 4 touchdowns, didn't he?
He didn't throw 4 touchdowns against the Jags.
3?
He didn't light up the Jags. Let's be 100% honest about that. Jets put up 28 points. They did put up.
Browning 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
When the game was over, and on those points,
and a rushing touchdown
came off of a blocked field goal that got ran back for a touchdown. So,
oh, I would have to agree that the Jags. Well, we talked about that game anyway, right? We talked about the Bengals Jags as being the highest scoring game of the week, and that how it was going to be an absolute shootout. So if we're going to say that a team is going to be an absolute shootout, a la Bears Cowboys, and we can't really say that the defense is really great, right? If it's a shootout,
I think their defensive line is good for sure, and I think that helps set the tone. Like if you have a good defensive line, you're going up against a decent offensive line, right? You can kind of mitigate that a little bit. Eagles just roasted Rams defense. They got hot at the very end. Yes, they did. But look at what the Rams have done previously in those games. That's like saying, do you think the Broncos have a good defense, TJ? Let me ask you that. You think the Broncos have a good defense? They played decent defenses for sure. Completely disagree. Who's a lot better? The Broncos are better, right? The Broncos are better. Right?
The Broncos defense is
okay. Let's just do something real quick, right? Because Broncos are supposed to be like a top 2 defense in the league this year, right? They have all the tools in the world. Surtain, they just signed the kid on the edge, right? All this, right? So let's go ahead real quick and let's just look at the points that the Broncos have given up so far this year. All right, they beat the Titans 20-12, good defensive showing. They gave up 29 points to the Colts, not great, right? They gave up 23 points to the Chargers. Is that good or is that not good? I don't know. I mean, the Raiders didn't do that bad. Well, you're the one in the chat talking shit. I'm just trying to help you out, and we'll get through this. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't. I'm not trying to be spicy. I'm here. You know.
That's he lost 6 units.
Nah, I ended up almost $400 on the day. It was
okay. Happy Meals are expensive these days, man. I mean, oh, shit's wild out there. Let's go to San Francisco, Jeffrey, for that San Francisco treat. The Arizona Cardinals come in 15-16. Big news here, James Conner out for the year. We all knew that Henderson was going to be the starter at some point. Just didn't realize it was going to be this one. Nick Bosa, possible ACL tear. What a game. My biggest takeaway from this, though, is Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm like, just are we ready to write him off yet?
No.
We're not.
Do you want to trade him? Do you want to get rid of him?
I don't have him. I didn't draft him for
this
reason.
Okay. No, he's fine. It is what it is. He had a bad drop.
What do you mean he's fine? Like,
he's healthy. He just has some kind of a
thing
going on right now where he's not doing well. So I don't know. I mean, I know he's a young kid. He's been given the keys to the city, the keys to the world his entire career. This is probably a really tough time for him. He's struggling. Who knows where his head is at mentally with everything, but you know,
it's got to be in a dark place. And if it's not, then he's, let me
the Jags could be 3-0 this year. Honestly, like I still don't understand how they lost that game to the Bengals. Just an absolute anomaly to me.
I don't know if it's this one or not. Let's see here.
I don't believe it's this one.
It's not that one.
No,
that's the one that he actually caught. The other one is very similar that he did not. Maybe this one.
That's terrible. You're so wide open. You turn. You think you're going to run for eternity. You're going to score a touchdown, so on and so forth, and then you just absolutely drop the pass. That was a bad one too.
I'll give you a little bit on that second one though, man. I mean, that's a tough catch to come down. You're falling. Should he have made it? Absolutely, but you're in the air. You're trying to figure out how hard am I going to hit the ground. I'll give you the second one, but he's out there seeing ghosts. I mean, if we're going to call out Sam Darnold and see all this other stuff with quarterbacks, do this, he's out there seeing ghosts. He's not seeing the football. And for a number 4 overall pick or whatever he was, that's for the same spotlight that we put on Caleb Williams and all of these top 10 picks, Colston Loveland, all of this. That is not a top 10 pick.
Listen, if somebody wants to sell me Marvin Harrison Jr. for pennies on the dollar right now, I'll take it.
I don't know why you would ever draft him, but I don't know who has him in our league, but it is out there. But again, James Conner out for the year. Another
Trey
big
Benson
blow.
is going to be a must-add. Trey Benson is going to be a monster in this offense. Everything that James Conner did, Trey Benson can do, but much better. He's younger. He's healthier. He has explosiveness. He can catch the ball. He's a 3-down running back. I think we saw DeMarcado when he got out there for one play. Ended up dropping the pass too. I don't think they have a ton of confidence in him. So, yeah.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. definitely struggled, but at least he had the season last year where the talent was there. He's it's not carrying over to year 2 for some reason. For our last game of the night, the Chiefs and the Giants. Go ahead.
Let's spin 3 games. I know we like to get overreaction.
A year and 3 games.
For Brian Thomas Jr., it's been 3 games.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not worried about
Marvin
Brian
Harrison
Thomas Jr.
Jr.
We've seen it out of Brian Thomas, and we've seen it out of Brian Thomas Jr. last year.
Do you think that Marvin Harrison Jr. had a ton of drops last year?
Did he have a ton of drops?
Yeah.
I don't
do you
know.
think like Marvin Harrison Jr. was objectively bad because he had a ton of drops last year and he just wasn't great? Or do you think like it's a problem, or do you think that like this maybe is just like a one-off thing that we're looking at? Because I don't remember a ton of huge drops from Harrison Jr. last year.
I just don't remember any production out of him. Is all.
TJ just what did you? So you traded for Scatterboo, or you traded Scatterboo? I didn't even see that because I could care less. You guys in your trades in week 3 is wild to me. I mean, I do want to get rid of Brock Bowers, but I'm not that desperate.
So 2024.
You traded for Brian Thomas Jr. or for Scatterboo. Which one? Also, I don't understand why you guys make these trades with Sean without shopping anybody to anybody else. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you not be like, hey, Brian Thomas Jr. out there on the market, you have 24 hours, send me something if you want. If not, I'm going to do this. Instead, you got like
kind of like Mark, trading Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
For CeeDee Lamb. Now, I get he wanted CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, and real G's moving silence like lasagna, but I just, it doesn't make sense to me how like that you don't want to shop it at all. Like,
well, he is a product of Jerry Jones, so I mean he's just following the Jerry Jones playbook. However, he just wanted CeeDee Lamb. So once he said that, I'm like, all right, well, if that's the guy that you want, that's the guy that you want. It is what it is. The Chiefs go into the Giants, which I didn't realize that the Chiefs had never beaten the Giants on the road.
Yeah, not in MetLife.
I did put out, obviously I like the Giants here. And I like it is what it is. I will full responsibility for my goose egg to start the season. And that's even a better thing. Just fade me. Cool. But we're going to turn it around and we're actually going to put some stuff in. I haven't even looked at survivor picks either, by the way. I know that
we both had Seahawks.
Yeah, but I also have the other one where I have 5 entries that I don't know who all I picked on that, or even if I
listen. There's one thing you're going to take away from this game. Obviously, Cam Scatterboo is a beast, and Tracy and Neighbors are hurt. Thank you so much, TJ. I will say this too. The other thing that I take away, Tyquan Thornton. They've been looking for a burner. They've been looking for a dude who has sure hands, who can get down the field and get open. Since they traded Tyreek Hill. I watched a few of those drives. It looked like old Chiefs, the way that they were a little bit speedier. Now, that the problem is that Travis Kelce is a shell of him former self, so it'll never be that. But I did love what I saw from Tyquan Thornton. I think he should definitely be a waiver ad. We'll see if
for sure
this week, but I really liked what I saw from Tyquan Thornton.
And that's what we always see out of the Chiefs. And you said this, I just don't see how the Chiefs start 0-3, right? And it was a great point. And this is the thing that the Chiefs continue to do each season, right? They pull somebody out that's a no name, and suddenly they just start producing. It's just the way it is. It's the way of the Chiefs. I will say this: the Chiefs are treading water. That's all they're doing. They're treading water. Hopefully, they can continue to pick up a game here until they can get a full roster back. But I'll tell you who else is treading water, and that's Brian Daboll. I know that you like him as a coach and you do all this other stuff, but to me, nah. I mean, when you continue to roll out Russell Wilson like that, and you got the fans booing Russell Wilson now, and they're cheering every time Jackson Dart comes out, there's a point in time when you have to give the mob what they want. It doesn't matter what you think. You need the public perception of eyes. And TJ, you're a Giants fan. I mean, do you want to continue to see Russell Wilson rolled out there? You're 0-3. I understand there's a very tough stretch coming, or on, whatever you want to call it. And I know that the Giants have the number 1 hardest schedule in the NFL this year. But at the end of the day, do you want to keep seeing Russell Wilson trotted out there? I mean, okay, so he blew the doors off the Dallas Cowboys. Woohoo! Everybody does that. The Chicago Bears did that. That gives you no statistical jump in my value. But they continue to run him out there. And I'm telling you, I heard it all. We talked about preseason rankings, right? Yeah. This front four of the Giants. Okay. Yeah. I know that Jeff talked about, Patrick Mahomes being slippery. I'm sorry, but that front four of the Giants is not getting it done. And yes, you can have a terrible secondary, but if you can get pressure on the quarterback, force bad throws, or even just get a sack here and there. Did they have a sack, Jeffrey? Did they sack Mahomes?
Yes, they did.
How many?
It's really tough, though, when you see it. I think Brian Burns had a sack, actually. It's really tough. If you look at what they had to do, Mahomes is getting rid of the ball so quickly. He's getting the ball. He's literally just getting it right out. And even I remember this is the two things that I saw that I kind of take away from was Philly and Kansas City, the way that they had started offense off this year, and even kind of the end of last year, except for the Super Bowl with Philly, was incredibly conservative. It was kind of run. Let's hit a small little pass. Let's kind of, go from there, control the clock. Unders are going to be locks here, so on and so forth. I saw a few times yesterday, and listen, Philly got a chance to open it up a little bit. A.J. Brown finally got targeted. Devontae Smith finally got targeted. They were down. They were forced to do that. And I think going forward, that is going to be a path of success for them because that will set up Saquon a little bit better. Saquon has obviously struggled to start the year. What I also saw from Kansas City was the things that we used to see, like I said, with Tyreek Hill, where Mahomes would be getting pressure and he would just throw the ball up on the sideline and be like, fuck it. I know Tyreek's going to get to it somehow. It was kind of the same thing with Tyquan a few times, right? Where like he would get pressured and they'd come at him and he just kind of get it up there. There was a lot of plays where, Burns is being mitigated because he's having to stop and he's having to jump instead of trying to get to the quarterback because he knows that Mahomes is going to get rid of the ball quickly. That's when I say Mahomes is slippery. It's tough for them because you have to still play the passing lanes. He's going to hit all these little short crossing routes and these mesh plays.
Is there not a defense to counter that?
Is there a defense to counter that?
Yes.
To counter mesh plays?
Yes.
And legal picks? I guess.
Okay.
I mean, you play like a soft underneath zone and try to let 4 go after him or 3 go after him, and keep everything, directly in front of you at 5 yards. But
can you run a cover 2 and bring 4 pressure?
Well, you got to win your one-on-ones then.
Okay, well, all I hear about this is defensive line that is with Brian Burns and Abdullah, Carter or whoever else, and blah blah blah, and this that and the other. Like, all I hear is excuses. Oh, he got the ball out. Well, no shit. That's what a good coach does to scheme against a good defensive line. So you're telling me that there's no defensive scheme that can take that out, so my defense can get some more pressure?
I'm saying that you're complaining about a lack of production in sacks from their front. When I think
not sacks,
got hurt as well too.
They had 1 sack.
Yeah, I just think it's really tough when you play possibly the greatest quarterback of all time, and he's able to just get rid of the ball as soon as he possibly can on mesh combos and slants.
Well, then you either got to play some press coverage, or you got to do some. You got to change it up if you get burned at the same time.
They should hire you.
Well, Jeff, there's a lot of organizations that could use my expertise. That's for damn sure. And guys, I'm available. All right, I'm available for consulting. Okay. I'll be happy to come in and give a motivational speech, whatever you guys need to get your franchise out of the dirt and out of the dumps. Okay. Last game tonight, Monday Night Football. Chad brought it up earlier. Lions, Ravens holding steady at -4.5. Jeff, who do you like tonight in the Lions, Ravens in Baltimore?
I'm like all in on the Ravens tonight. I think the Ravens. Listen, Jared Goff outdoors is not the same quarterback as Jared Goff indoors. I still have a ton of questions. Obviously, they had the great bounce back they had against Ben Johnson. But I go back to what I saw that first week against the Green Bay Packers, which I thought was very underwhelming. I don't really love the Lions in general. And I just think this is a really bad spot for a Ravens team on a Monday night. Now, the question is, can the Ravens hold on to a lead? Right? That'll be the question. I think it'll be a little bit different at home as opposed to on the road. I love Lamar's rushing props tonight. I think Lamar takes off and has a big game as well too. I think Jahmyr Gibbs could have a big game tonight as well. See like a tight end touchdown somewhere as well. I think Baltimore wins this game.
My biggest concern is the Baltimore defense and which defense is going to show up. I mean, obviously they got absolutely torched by Buffalo. And as somebody that's going against Jameson Williams tonight, I'm very concerned. And I don't really understand ESPN's percentages and ESPN analytics either, because I have an 89% chance to win, and I have a 7-point lead. And he has Jameson Williams going, and I have Derrick Henry going.
Yeah.
To me, okay, yes, I have a 7-point lead, but that maybe 60-40 at best.
Do you think that Derrick Henry is going to outscore Jameson Williams? Right?
Well, he should, but Derrick Henry also had 3 points the week prior. I mean,
yeah.
All I'm saying is analytic. Like, to me, it's like, okay.
They also played, like we said, the best defense in the NFL in the Cleveland
Correct.
Browns.
You're absolutely correct.
I've
I've seen this Ravens defense get cooked, and I could definitely 100%. See a Jameson Williams 60-yard touchdown.
Sure.
And boom, there it is, 60-yard touchdown.
And if we were playing in Detroit, I could see that as well too. But we're not. We're playing in Baltimore, and it's Jared Goff outdoors, and he's just not the same.
Well, can you just give me the fact that I shouldn't be 90% certain that I'm going to win?
You should not be 90% certain that you're going to win. You should be 100% certain you're going to win because it's positive vibes only, and that's what we're going to fucking put out.
Well, I mean, every time that I do doubt myself, I just kind of turn around a little bit and look, and then I reassure myself that yes,
yeah. Jameson is the home run hitter in all of fantasy football.
Who I picked to have more yards than Amon-Ra St. Brown this year.
You did pick that.
Yep. Where are we at right now, Jeffrey?
I don't know. It's week. We've been through 2 weeks. Like, stop, bro.
Hey,
we're about to monitor this for the next 17 weeks. Like,
we're 29 yards behind, baby. 29 yards behind. That's because of the Bears. The Bears are giving up all that shit. I also like the Ravens here. I think that at the end of this week, you're probably going to see a blockbuster trade for Indiana Jones in the Temple of Puka Nacua for Lamar Jackson. I think that it's time for him to come home again. And you're probably going to see a pretty blockbuster trade after this week.
Wow. That's proprietary fantasy football information that you can only get if you listen to the podcast here.
That is true.
Fan, for the big league.
For the big league.
As it's called Fantasy 12 for some reason, because I think
it's
that's
the Boathouse. On the trophy, it's the Boathouse League.
No, it says Fantasy 12 underneath our ESPN thing, because I believe that's when the league was formed, was 2012. So I think it's been 13 years that we've been.
Let's look. When was the first year? I got it right here, Jeff. 2012.
Yeah.
Once again, Jeffrey's right. Team Ass Bomb.
Team Ass Bomb. That's a Mike Fitzpatrick team.
That is.
I believe. And that's
2013 Baby Powder.
That's a Jeff Schneider team, Baby Powder.
Yeah.
Team Ass Bomb, I believe he drafted in a 1-quarterback league. He drafted Michael Vick and Peyton Manning, both in the top 5 rounds of the draft. Just diabolical stuff from Mike Fitzpatrick.
He definitely has a non-traditional way of drafting.
Yes.
I also like the Ravens here. I think that the Ravens are going to be unstoppable down the road. No, TJ, I can't. Yeah, it's just whatever. I think Ravens by 7. Can we just actually I can't. Who do I have here? I have
Team SMDB.
I have Ass Bomb, Baby Powder, Get Off My Dicka, Smoking AJ's Green. Shocker who that is. Buffy.
Good job.
She Gives Woodhead. Danny
that's Joe Corvelli.
Yeah, what a flash from the past. Yeah. The Tits.
The Tits is Sunny.
And the Tits again, back to back.
Sunny. Let's see if I can name all of them just based off of
crazy that a back-to-back fantasy football champion is now irrelevant in the shit talking and drafting scene. Whatever. Buffington the Baked.
We're gonna go with Buff. Yep.
Team I Take It in the Rear.
Whoa. Team I Take It in the Rear.
And then followed up by I Take It in the Rear again the next year.
Who won back to back?
There's been 2 recent ones.
Well, Kroll, but it wasn't
Okay.
Kroll.
No,
Kroll
it
wouldn't
wasn't.
put that.
Nobody put Take It in the Rear, dude. It's Team SMDB. Like, come on.
Well, you're a dickhead. I'm actually trying to guess based off of the names, and I'm trying to.
I just
remember,
thought you
I've
would have
never seen that
realized
name.
that, Take It in the Rear was TJ. But okay. So yes, 2020 and 2021, and then Everybody Hurts and I'm on One of Golf. I don't really like that one. And then of course followed up by the LaMarvelous Bijan. Probably one of the best fantasy team names that there is on there. The LaMarvelous Bijan, but whatever.
I think my team name in the Kiddies League is probably the best team name out there.
Let's hear it.
It is Mahomes ran a chain on her.
Oh, I do like that one. That is a good one. Wow. I really like that one.
Because I have Patrick Mahomes and Devin Achane. So
I really thought Indiana Jones and the Temple of Nakua was up there, but that one, no. That one is it. Congratulations, Jeffrey.
And I'm gonna change the her to whoever I'm playing weekly.
I like it. Well, let's move on. Let's get on to some sad news. Let's get into NCAA football. The Florida Gators went into Miami and took the field in a uniform, I guess. Yes, to 26. The pain continues for the Florida Gators. I don't know what's happening, whatever. The program is just in shambles. I have a big thing. I didn't understand this, and I asked whatever. I understand these alumni, but why is Michael Irvin running onto the field? Why is he talking to kids and players as they're coming off the field? Why is he running to be in the celebrations? Why is he running to the end zone to have a celebration like he just scored? Maybe this is just me, TJ. Maybe you can help me out on this with the Miami Hurricanes. Is this just a grass to stay relevant to obviously he has this podcast and stuff that's coming out. Michael Irvin has been dormant for years, and all of a sudden he's out. Is this just a grasp at attention, or is this just straight true fanhood? And I am being a boomer.
I don't. So I think Michael Irvin has just been an integral part of the program. You look at guys like Jason Taylor, guys who have always been out there. You think they feel bad for Michael Irvin?
That could be.
Yeah, he's a fiery character, but it is wild. TJ mentioned this, right? He said it feels very one-sided. And listen, neither team I thought was entirely impressive, but I do think the thing about Miami is that, like we mentioned before, their lines offensively and defensively, incredible. You want to talk about DJ Lagway only throwing for 61 yards on the entire night. You want to talk about total yards being 344 to 141, Miami to Florida. You want to talk about, third downs. Miami 50% at 8 of 16, Florida 0 of 13 on third down. And with all that being said, you had a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter, down by a touchdown.
Well, DJ Lagway is definitely seeing ghosts. His confidence is completely rocked.
He's been having too much Chipotle.
And with this, and with the schedule that they have, I don't see him gaining it back anytime soon. Unfortunately, if you play defense for the Florida Gators, you are playing your ass off, and unfortunately, you're on the field all the time. And by the end of by the end of the fourth quarter, you're gassed. But that defense is showing up. Again, okay, they gave up the garbage, whatever, but you held LSU to 20 points, 26 points here from Miami. And again, you were in it all the way to the end based on defense. When you put up 7 points of offense, 10 points of offense, and 16 points of offense, I'm looking directly at the play callers. And guess who that is? Billy Napier. And this is the same thing that we talked about for the last 2 years. There was supposedly last year he was supposed to hire an offensive coordinator to come in. Whatever he's doing, he's getting the recruits. He's recruiting like Ron Zook did, right? I mean, we have one of the better recruiting class in there, and this Florida Gator team is just riddled with talent. I don't know if it's your fucking ego. You got fired at Clemson because you were uninspiring offensive coordinator. Done there. Okay, so you had some D2, I guess, improvements. To me, I don't know if it's just an ego thing. But he's if he's going to stay the head coach, he's got to bring in somebody else in. That's just all there is to it. Yeah, TJ,
No.
it was a very hard hitting game. There were some hits on there that I was like, from both sides, I was like, oh shit, that's going to be a flag. No, they didn't. They let him play. It was angry. It was a violent game. And I just feel bad for the defense, man. The defense of the Florida Gators was putting on, they were laying some people out, and then the offense just sucked.
I was saying this too. Like, I know that y'all's game is a rivalry, right? Like, technically, hypothetically, right? Gators, Miami, you're both in the same state. It's a rivalry. It's nothing compared to Florida State playing either of you individually, though, right? Like, Florida State, Miami, that's a fucking rivalry. Florida State, Florida, that's a rivalry. Like, there is legitimate.
Florida State is our only rivalry game.
Yeah, which is crazy that I feel like they don't put it up there as like one of the best rivalries in football. I think both of them are, in my opinion, but obviously I'm biased. You mentioned the fact of it felt like the Gators defense was on the field the entire game. Miami possessed the ball for 2/3 of the game, like 36-30 to 23-30 or something like that, one way to the other. So that's almost a whole quarter more that the defense is on the field for. So you're right, but at the end of the game, it's tough. You're gassed, and also like, you can only see the offense turn the ball over so many times or continue to fail, right? You go over 13 on third down. There's no sustained drives whatsoever. It's all pretty much one-sided. So tough game, tough lick. I thought you guys were going to have a chance to hang in there. I actually bet you on the money line. I thought there was a chance you upset them, but, it's okay.
I mean, yeah.
Well, listen, you're down 13-7 in the fourth quarter. I'm like, I didn't hate the bet. You're catching 10 points. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yep. And then we go up. We do have Texas coming in at home. My biggest concern is DJ Lagway. Like I said, I mean, a good quarterback can overcome a lot of things. I think Arch Manning isn't the Arch Manning that we thought, right? So I think that they still have a shot against Texas with this defense. They just need some sustainable drives from their offense. And Billy Napier, pull your head out of your ass, dude. I mean, not only are the Gator faithful, if you want to call it that, claiming, churning for Billy Napier's head, they've already turned on DJ Lagway. Especially, and in all fairness, I mean, we saw just amazing talent at the end of the year, right? We just saw some spectacular plays, spectacular throws. Then he gets injured, misses a lot of the preseason. I don't know. We talk about, severe injuries, right? Especially more in the pros, because you have a more lengthy time with your contracts. It's not like, hey, I can get rid of this kid now. But, when you come back from a sustainable injury like he had, everybody always says it's very tough to get back to your what you were before, because in the back of your mind, that injury is still there. It usually takes a year removed. I don't know if it's injury ghosts that we're seeing out of DJ Lagway, if it's bad coaching. At the end of the day, I mean, it's just to the point where this is what we're now seeing for Gators football, and it's just not the standard, man. It's just not. So I don't know what happens. After your comment last week, or was it? Yeah, Friday, when you said go after Nick Saban. I can't get that out of my head now.
I just said that I think y'all are
I'm watching
short.
I'm watching college football, and I'm like, hey Nick. But I don't need.
Yeah, we need to clip that too and put that out and hashtag Gator fans. Now that we're talking about it, this is going to set up an interesting thing, right? Obviously, Florida State wins 62-10. I know we're about to get into it, but the reason I want to say that is because Florida State and Miami has a bye this coming week. Florida State plays on Friday night against Virginia, who's an undefeated team. If Florida State wins this game on Friday night, that sets up. If it's a 7.5 point spread, a lot of money coming in on these Cavaliers right now.
Appreciate you, Buff.
I just think if Florida State wins this game against Virginia, it sets up for a monumental game against Miami coming up a week from Saturday. So, very interesting to see the way.
I think regardless if you win or lose, it's going to be a monumental game. Gators have a bye this week as well.
It looks like a trap game to me, right? Because you're playing on a Friday night, you're playing in Virginia, and you're playing the week ahead of Miami, knowing that Miami is top 4, knowing that you are what you are, and you've come off of, for the past 3 weeks, you've had pretty much 2 practices against teams and then also a bye week. So it just sets up, it's your first conference game. It just sets up really, really
Yep. Like I said, Gators have a
spot.
bye week this week as well. Couldn't
Yeah.
come at a better time. I'm very curious to see if Billy Napier survives it. I'm sure he will. Apparently, the buyout for him is $21.5 million. That's chump change.
Nothing.
But again, just wish I could find a job that I suck at, but still get paid. Living the dream. Texas Tech, Utah. This was a game that circled. I didn't know a whole lot about it. You had Utah, and you have Utah to win the Big 12. I watched a little bit of it, and then I got a little bit more interested. And again, I didn't even know who the starting quarterback was for Texas Tech. Baron Morton apparently is the starting quarterback. But I got intrigued and sucked into this game and actually moved it to the big screen when I saw this guy, Will Hammond, come in for Texas Tech. And this kid was slinging the ball, bro. I mean, he was all over the field. He was dropping dimes. He looked like Josh Allen out there. I mean, wow. Yeah. I don't watch, like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of college outside of my couple teams. But man, this kid looked good, and Texas Tech looked good. I mean, we're talking about the 7th ranked team in the nation, and they put it on Utah at home.
Yeah. The highest NIL they have right now, I guess, is Texas Tech. So, you know, it is what it is. What
Tech players don't always produce on the field, though, Jeffrey.
You said that they're ranked what now? 7th?
17th, I think they were.
17th. I have they moved up to 12.
Yeah, they were 17th. I left off the 1.
Florida State actually dropped a spot as well down in the AP poll as Oklahoma moves 4 spots ahead, which is absolutely deserved. Oklahoma's looked great to start this year as well. So
toughest schedule in college football. Oklahoma Sooners
going forward. Yeah, I mean, I think Florida will probably surpass them just because 2 of those games that you marked on Florida's schedule with USF and FSU that we thought were going to be not competitive are going to end up being quality, wins or losses, whichever way it shakes out. So.
Well, the Fighting Illini went into Indiana. Woo! Or did they? 10-63. This was an absolute beatdown. I'll take full responsibility. I bet on Illinois. I'll take full responsibility. Everything I touch turns to shit. Not only did I take them, I live bet them when they were down plus 350 again, down to touchdown after the nice bomb from Altmaier across the middle. And Indiana absolutely just stomped on them. And it was actually, I've said this a few times. Again, shout out for all the love that you see on TikTok. But when we get people underneath our clips arguing, that's when I know that we're doing some good shit. And that's what it was. It was the Indiana, the guy calling the Illinois fans little brother. Wild take that Indiana is calling Illinois little brother. People going about, was it 62 points or was it 50? Dude, it got wild. 53 points win spread there.
I missed that. I don't know. My TikTok is weird where like I follow us, right? But for some reason, it never pops up on my page ever. I have to go search Uninformed Fan every single time. And I search it to go look and see how everything's doing, but it will never, ever pop up for me. So
maybe you're just following too many people.
I follow not that many people.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
We're living the dream here, buddy. TikTok, appreciate it. Lots of love going out there. TikTok, 1,000. This is it right here. 1,300 views on this one with the 3 times leading the way. They put it on Illinois, did they not, Sally's? Incorrect. Indiana was 3-0, now 4-0. I'm glad you know degenerate sports betting terminology means you probably lost money on the game. Another yeah, I mean, it just gets better and better. Now we're showing bet slips. Could have just informed her without the insult. God bless. No, they cannot get it done. The best one, I think, is this one, and I definitely responded to this. I don't know if this will show up on. The guy just posted that comment. Anytime you can get a coach with that type of reaction, just head down, complete shame. Good stuff. Absolutely horrible podcast. LOL. Love it. How does 60 taste, little bro? Let's get technical. It was 63. Woo!
You can tell these are people who have never won anything in their life.
Hey, I mean, when it's your time to shine, bro, you gotta get out there and soak up the sun, and it might never come again.
Yeah, I'm sure. I wonder what Indiana's schedule is going forward. They play Iowa Then they have Oregon. They might lose to Michigan State. How do they get this schedule? Like, I don't understand how this works. How does like
Cupcakes are baked in an oven, Jeffrey.
I guess the Big Ten just sucks too, huh?
That is true as well.
Like Ohio State plays Texas, and then go Grambling, Ohio, Washington, Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin. They do have Penn State, but then Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and then Michigan.
We've always talked about the Big Ten. It's so top heavy.
It's
you
wild.
can say what you want about the SEC, but Vanderbilt, who is arguably the worst team in the SEC for many years, is now ranked 20th in the nation. Like, I mean, it is. I mean, and then you look at the Big Ten, and those bottom feeders. Nah, but it is what it is. 3 times. Any errors, omissions, or additions for today's show?
No, I just lots of good stuff in the comments. Sorry, TJ, I did make a mistake on one of the graphics. You are correct. Jaguars did get their second win. I put first. I apologize. I was writing hastily early this morning when I was doing all that. That was it.
Hastily.
Yeah.
What was so hastily about what you were writing?
I was just typing quickly. I just didn't look at everything when I was going through it. So I was kind of.
So update on the Survivor picks that I told you. So the one that I have solo, I took the Seahawks as well. The other ones I took Seahawks, Chiefs, Bucks, and apparently I took the Falcons in one. So it looks like I'll be using a buyback on that one. Yeah.
I actually don't have an entry this year.
So that means I will have 2 on buybacks and 2 on full-fledged.
I have to give a shout out to Jeffrey. Thank you. I actually forgot to put my Survivor pick in, and I looked. And at 105, I went, oh, shit, who do I pick? And I was like, oh, Seahawks. Yeah, that's an easy pick. So thanks, Jeff. I got that one.
Layups. Take layups.
People helping. People.
But it is funny, like, I put out Cowboys. Cowboys last week against Giants. And it's like, if you took the Cowboys in week 2 and you hit, you are slipping around town because they're done. You won and you moved on, and you never have to think about them again. You can fade them every week going forward, unless it's the Giants.
That was kind of my thinking on the Falcons, which again, early in the year, if you have a buyback, you fly on a team that you don't necessarily have high expectations for.
I actually didn't get in Survivor this year. I'm just putting out the picks just
I don't know why.
Put them out. So
yeah, I don't know why.
Well, we appreciate your Survivor picks.
This is when I'm at. This is when you respond with the reasoning.
I don't know why I didn't get in. It was a weird week, bro. It was like my 40th birthday week. I had this.
I remember specifically telling you at least 3 times to get in it. At least 3.
Yeah. It is one of those things. It's like when you win and you win all that money. It's like you want to be like, Dave Chappelle, where he's just like, I
what a great business decision by me on that year.
You and TJ both, if we're going to be honest.
Well, I talked TJ into it.
You made a $500. You made a $500 investment to win over. Was it $7,000?
I think it was
6,000.
I think it was 3.
No, it wasn't 3.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was good business. Well, that's going to do it for today on the Uninformed Fan.
After
we are a little bit over the time limit today, unfortunately. Yeah, 38 minutes over.
Yeah.
But, well, usually sometimes we go an hour and a half, so it's not that late.
Anything to wrap? Who plays on Thursday? There's something that I like on Thursday. I forgot.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about Thursday.
Remember, there was something that I was saying.
Seahawks Cardinals.
Seahawks Cardinals.
And Cardinals are favored by a point and a half.
Favored by a point and a half. Yeah.
That smells fishy.
Would stay away, but I don't know.
That smells fishy.
Are we thinking like Sam Darnold primetime seeing ghosts? Is that why it's like that? I don't get it.
I have no idea how Arizona could be favored after just losing James Conner. I get it. Trey Benson's going to pick up right where he left off.
Trey Benson, if Trey Benson is on your waiver wire.
Well, there's no way. If he's on your waiver wire, I want to be in that league, please.
That's why I didn't understand why you wanted to get rid of that baseball league. I'm like, you do so well. Just take the money.
Baseball is just a lot of time, dude.
It's not worth
every day.
No,
it's not worth my time. I don't care. Like maybe if it was like
so I got it. So I finished second.
It's a full-time job. It's a full-time job.
So I got second. It's a $500. I paid in $200, so I made $300.
Oh, okay, never mind.
like I made $350 in 40 seconds this morning on the stock market. Like,
Yeah, never mind.
yeah, it's
I
just-
thought it was one of those big leagues that you have with the guys from out there and the
no, but I
So
will tell you this.
basically made
it's,
$60 a month, so you made $2 a day. So basically,
Yeah.
you're like UNICEF.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm on the waiver wire. I'm looking. The only thing I will tell you this is, yeah, hashtag no kids buff. The only thing I'll say about this is it
you guys have
does
animals.
it keeps me relevant for my sports card business, because when I'm watching fantasy baseball, I'm keeping up
Right.
on trends and who's card market. So now that I'm saying it, I'll just stick in it. Whatever. It is
Yeah,
what it
it
is.
does keep you locked in and engaged, especially in an ever-changing market, which is, by the way, wild to me. I don't understand. My King Griffey Jr. Donruss rookie card that I have, that is, you know, I can look up and it says that people are selling them for $5,000. You're offering me $2 for it.
Doesn't matter what anybody can be asking anything.
You're like, that's the last
It's
sale.
what they sell for.
$2. What you
And I
get.
will tell you, it's the junk wax era, bro. There's just so much, and we're about in junk wax era 2.0 with the overproduction of these cards. So, Jordans, Kobe's, Brady's, those are the three.
Oh, gosh, we forgot. It's Ryder Cup week, boys. Goodness.
It's Ryder
It-
Cup week.
It is Ryder Cup week. Starts Friday.
Who's your pick for Ryder Cup, Jeremy?
Team USA. Come on. Let's go.
Tyson?
Was that even a question?
Give me Team Europe to win at Bethpage Black this week.
I'm off on Friday, so I'll be watching all
That's like
day.
the dumbest
No, I'm
thing
not
I've
off
ever
on
heard.
Friday. Never mind.
I'm off
You
on
were like,
Friday as well, too.
after the events that you just saw in Arizona, and you know the Americans coming together,
They're plus 150.
and you're going to go against the United States. You're gonna root for Europe.
Fade the US, baby. Fade the
Unbelievable.
US.
You know, guys, I apologize for that. I will try to cut that out. But yeah, that's terrible. That's gonna do it for us today on the Uninformed Fan. We'll
We
be back
choke every
Friday. What?
We choke every time at the Ryder Cup. It's not
Okay,
even like,
you still go for them, Jeffrey. You still root
I
for
didn't say-
USA.
Did I say I'm not gonna root? Did I say I'm not gonna root for them?
No, you just said that you expect them to lose and that
I
you'll
do
be
expect them
betting
to
on
lose.
Europe.
I will be betting on Europe, and I expect the USA to lose, and I'll be rooting my little fucking heart out for them to win.
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that.
Be at the bar on Sunday, yelling at the
Oh,
Brits.
are we going to go out and watch that with some football, Jeffrey?
Let's go. Hey, listen, it's Bucks Eagles, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume.
Wow.
I haven't talked to everybody, but there's a huge contingent of fans from the Eagles that
Scumbags. Get it
usually
right.
go to
Scumbags.
that usually go to Kitties every Sunday. And
Bears play at 4:30.
the problem is that the Bills play at 1:00.
So, yeah, that makes it difficult.
So that makes it difficult because a lot of those people are also employees that work there. But
You're definitely not getting sound.
Definitely not getting
definitely
a
not
seat.
getting sound. Definitely not. Maybe getting a seat. I mean, come on, bro.
Jeff stands anyway. He's a
come on,
Rolling
bro.
Stone.
Also, like, what do you think this is, bro? Oh, you won't get a seat. Fuck out of here, bro. I'll call ahead and put a reserve sign on the table. We'll be fine.
So if
I
we
don't
go
know.
with the kiddies to watch the games on Sunday.
Maybe I'll let you know. I'll talk to them tonight and see what they want to do. And when I say them, I really just mean Marla, Jay, Christian, Court, Soph. Really, all I care about watching the game with Durrell.
17 days still have been.
Do you want to talk about it? We're getting to an hour 45 here. We might as well open it up for
Nope.
anything. There's 11 people watching.
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
What do you so when you decided, right? And obviously you had your reasons for not wanting to go to the plaza anymore. You felt like you weren't appreciated by people, which is completely valid. You're entitled to feel that way. Has there been somewhere else that you've decided to frequent since?
Haven't gone to a bar in 17 days.
So you've just been drinking at home?
Have some beverages at home. Go to bed. Yep.
That's a problem.
What'd you say?
I said that's a problem.
Why is that a problem?
When you start drinking solo at home, that's a problem. It's a flag.
Jeremy, if you would like, I'm probably gonna go watch the Monday night game tonight.
Notice how he's inviting you and not me.
You're a lost cause. You said, "Oh, you always want to talk about Mondays when you know that my wife's not working." And
Those words never came out of my
last
mouth.
week. I said, "How am I supposed to know Bianca's schedule?" Exactly.
Well, Jeff, can I also just tell you this for right
What?
now? My weekends are going to be limited here because guess what? In 2 weeks, she's going to
having a
start
baby?
having Saturday, Sunday, Mondays off.
That's
So if you want to watch a little foosball with your boy,
rest in peace. Rest in peace.
it's got to happen soon.
To the parking lot. Man, I'm so big, can't even fit in the parking spot. We're not gonna do Dreams and Nightmares right now because it is Philly week and I can't do it. But
All right, so Sunday we'll be out there, and then like I said, Bears play at 4:30. So no issue with having the Bears game on. Bucks game will be over. Bills
who do the
game will
Bears
be
play?
over. Vegas.
No,
Should be
no,
another win.
Nobody wants that game on sound.
I don't need it on sound.
Oh, okay. You have Baltimore, KC, and you have Indy, LA, and you have Jacksonville, San Fran as well too.
Yeah,
We can definitely get your game on.
I don't need it on sound. I just want one day to hang out with the boys and maybe have some chicken wings and
Yeah.
talk some football. And maybe drink
Some-
too much.
Some nooners, you know.
Yeah, maybe drink too much. Make some
Can we
bad
talk
decisions.
about the price of seltzers?
Maybe have an Uber. Yeah, whatever. Whenever I get my check and I've had 3 buckets, it's always just quite the sticker shock. It almost makes me want to just bring in my own liquor like Leon. Bring in my own weed.
Ian hasn't drank in like 7 weeks now, so
Weird. All right, that's going to do it for us on the Uninformed Fan. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you all for the love across the socials. If you do happen to be driving this week, please, for the love of God, stay out of the left-hand lane.
be great.